As the God Wars ended and the Fourth Age began, the majority of humans across Gielinor lived in small barbaric tribes scattered across the land. The toll of life from the God Wars left most followers of Saradomin, among other faiths, without leadership. Between the years 500 and 900 of the Fourth Age, followers of Saradomin began to construct settlements in modern-day Asgarnia, primarily those that later became Falador and Intrana. In the years 800 to 1000 of the Fourth Age, the Kingdom of Asgarnia was officially founded. Sources in the Baroque Museum state that by the late Fourth Age, around the year 1777, the lands of Asgarnia were not the safest place, where the human tribes were still fighting battles with goblins, hobgoblins, and giants. By the early years of the Fifth Age, the largest tribal leader was King Radalin, who, by the 8th year of the Fifth Age, had united many of the smaller tribes in Asgarnia. Among these groups were the Zamorakians known as the Kinshra or Black Knights. The Black Knights helped the king to expand his rule across the area and were gifted a fortress north of Falador for their aid. At the same time, the group known as the White Knights, bitter rivals of the Kinshra, aided in battle across Asgarnia and worked as defense of Falador. Though the two groups were bitter rivals prior to joining King Radalin, they did not change their ways and remained as such, proving adversarial during the reigns of other kings. As human groups had discovered magic at the start of the Fifth Age, the Fremennik tribes opposed to the practice rampaged across the continent between the years 42 and 62 of the Fifth Age. Led by a warrior named Gunnar, they fought their way across Asgarnia, wiping out almost all of the Incando dwarves, powerful smiths, and allies of the White Knights. They met much resistance from there on out, and the runecrafting crusades were slowly put to rest as the barbarian forces spread too thinly between Kandarin, Mistalin, and Asgarnia. Far later, in the year 162 of the Fifth Age, the current king, King Valance, fell ill. The White Knights of Falador took over political power to aid his rule during recovery. The Kinshra during this time saw this as the White Knights taking power and reducing their own political presence. By the following year, the two groups found themselves at war. With the White Knight and Black Knight forces relatively evenly matched, they both retreated to their respective fortresses and built up forces. While the Berthorp Imperial Guard fought alongside the White Knights, they began to struggle over matters of authority, and soon enough found themselves in Berthorp aligned with Crown Prince Anlaf alone. Matters of rule in the city of Falador are now conducted by the White Knights, led by Sir Amigvars, who sits as regent. With the king not having been seen publicly in many years, there are whispers that he has died and the White Knights have taken full control in the stead of Prince Anlaf. The elite force of Saradominists known as the Temple Knights help maintain control of the city in the shadows under the rule of Sir Tifikashin. Citizenscape has many goals in Falador. While here, he will be completing the Knight's Sword, Black Knight's Fortress, and recruitment drive quests. Among his combat tasks for Falador are Black Knights and Dark Wizards from the nearby tower. We have 6 easy achievements in Falador. We've already completed one, which was to browse Sarah's farming shop. While in Falador, we'll be finding out what our family crest is from Serenity, climbing over the western Falador wall, we'll get a haircut from the hairdresser, fill a bucket from the pump near the west bank, and finally, kill a duck in Falador Park. For our skill tasks, we'll be making use of Sarah's farming patches once again, this time planting strawberries in the allotment patches, woad leaves for Wyson in the flower patch, and a guam seed in the herb patch. While strawberries are ever so slightly over our usual level 30 limit, our farming is higher than level 30 already. We'll also plant a willow tree in Falador Park, mine copper, tin, iron and coal from the west mine, and make use of the Falador furnace. Finally, we have our miscellaneous tasks. We will need to make purchases from the general store, Cassie's shield shop, Flynn's mace market, Wayne's chains, and Herquin's gems. We'll also be making alcoholic purchases from the Rising Sun Inn and the Falador Party Room bar. While in the party room, we'll pop balloons and make the knights dance. We're also going to make use of the spinning wheel in the south of Falador as well as the loom on Sarah's farm. While at Sarah's farm, we're going to fill and deliver 2 sacks of cabbage. Our final miscellaneous tasks here in Falador are to make a purchase of an Initiate Saleh, Horberk, and QS from Certification after we complete Recruitment Drive. Following the completion of Recruitment Drive, we'll also be changing our respawn point to Falador. With all that in store, let's begin. Today we make our way into Falador, having been through the city many times in the past. Becoming a citizen of such a large place has always seemed a daunting task. Now that we've done so in many other places, we feel up to it. We take a look around the local shops. Falador is home to many businesses. To become a citizen, we'll need to make purchases at all of them. We go first to the general store. We're a bit unsure what to buy, but decide on a bucket and a pot. Next, we visit Flynn's Mace Market next door. With level 30 attack, we can wield adamant weaponry now. An adamant mace is fewer than 1500 gold, so we buy that. Next, we venture along to the hairdressers. A small mouse in a wheel turns the red and white pole outside the door, attracting customers. The hairdresser has no fee for their work. It must be our lucky day. We try a new hairstyle, but on reflection, it's just not us. It makes us stand out too much, so we change it back to our old faithful haircut. Getting a haircut here was an achievement also. Next, we make our way into the Rising Sun Inn. They serve Asgardian ales, dwarven stouts and wizard mind bombs, each for only 2 coins. We're going to buy one of each and drink the Asgardian ale now, while we're here in Asgardia. A little way south is Harkwin's Gems. We've previously sold a gem here, though today we're going to buy an uncut sapphire to support business. To the south of the city is Wayne's Chains. We currently wear Mithril chainmail, though he sells adamant, the next step up. While we're not yet level 30 defense and able to wear adamant, we're going to buy it for the future. Next door to Wayne's Chains is a spinning wheel. We remember hearing about flax being spun in Falador. We'll have to come back and make use of this wheel. As we travel back to the North Gate, our final purchase is from Cassie's shield shop. Our current shield is better quality than what she has in stock. To support business though, we decide on a wooden shield. We bank our new goods before checking out this west wall. We're able to use our agility skills to climb over it, which is another achievement. Once on the other side, we spot a small mine. We'll have to return with a pickaxe. For now, we use this shortcut to return to Taverley and pick up an inventory of flax. Once we have 28 flax, we return, spotting a dark tower on the horizon. We'll have to come back to this too. We climb back over the wall and spin the flax on the spinning wheel, earning level 26 crafting in the process. We bank the bowstrings before we check out the city's east. While most of the area here is residential housing, we do find a large castle-like structure. This is the party room, where a party seems to already be in progress. Among others, we spot the Goblin Generals and the Archmage of the Wizard's Tower. The Goblin Generals are fighting about the colour of cake. Will they never learn? We talk briefly with the Archmage. He says that wizards and baking are a recipe for disaster. We'll take his word for it. The person in charge of this function is Party Pete. He tells us that we can pull a nearby lever to cause balloons to drop items placed in a chest, or to make knights dance on the table, each with a cost. While we're here in Falador, we may as well see the sights. For the cost of a mere 500 gold, a troupe of dancing white knights appear on the central table and dance while rhyming. How odd. The other option with the lever is to drop poppable balloons to the ground. Citizenscape's inner child requires us to do it. Balloons drop to the ground and Citizenscape spends time popping them. Once they're all cleared up, we head upstairs and find another bar. A beer here costs 2 coins. We quickly retrieve some coins and make our purchase. I think it's time for Citizenscape to take a nap after all that partying. Well rested, Citizenscape has spent some time talking with the locals and finding out what would impress them. Many of the citizens fill water up at the pump near the West Bank. Doing so is an easy achievement. The farmers in the park tell us that there are too many ducks. These ducks are apparently messing with their plants. With our new ranged talents, we take out a duck for the achievement and respect of the farmers. We don't feel good about it though. While we're in a combat mood, we've inquired about the dark tower we saw. The people tell us that the tower is full of dark wizards who are causing problems. We gear up and head over there to take out a few. They're a little more powerful than we thought, requiring us to retreat back to the bank and getting food and other stronger arrows. We take out a few more of these dark wizards, earning level 16 range in the process. We're curious about the spiders on a stick that we cooked in Tiber One-Eye. They're certainly an acquired taste. While we're nearby, we've heard that the makeover mage is now performing their changes for free. We couldn't afford it last time, but when it's free, we've brought our shears with us to gather 4 lots of wool for later. Our crafting has greatly improved since we were here last. We go to check if they'll let us into the crafting guild, but we're once again turned away. One of these days. We spin the wool into balls and make our way to Sarah's farm. She has a loom with which we can make a strip of cloth out of our wool. That's a skill task done. We still have plants grown here on the farm. We're looking to plant strawberries here with a level 31 farming requirement. We have woad seeds to plant here too. We want to grow more herbs for our herb lore training, so we make a quick stop at Grand Exchange and sell half of our Amelase crystals. We're a long way from being able to use them, and we're getting short on cash again. On return to the farm, we harvest our tomatoes and plant our new strawberries. In place of our marigolds, we plant some woad leaves. In our herb patch, we plant guam seeds. While we're on the farm, we pick 20 cabbages and fill 2 sacks for Sarah as thanks for letting us use the loom and farming patches. We drop these off before returning to Falador Park to plant a willow tree. We'll have to check on the progress of our plants later. We grab a pickaxe out of the bank and once again climb the wall. We want to make some iron bars in the furnace, so mine ourselves 12 iron ore, getting level 36 mining in the process. While we're here, we mine 4 tin and 4 copper ore, then fill the rest of our inventory with coal. While we have no use for coal right now, we're sure it'll come in handy soon enough. At the furnace, we managed to smelt our 4 bronze bars and successfully smelt 8 out of the 12 iron ore into bars. Not too shabby, though we don't have an anvil here to work our iron bars. Having spent a bit of time as a woman, we realise that people will not recognise us as a citizen if we keep changing our gender between tasks. We return to the makeover mage and change back into a man. Something's wrong though. Our beard, it was missing off our face. This hairdresser somehow manages to regrow it for us, and we're back to our old selves. We've been around the city of Falador today, though we've not made our way into the castle. We've made quite an impression with the locals, but now it's time to complete our citizen ventures within the castle. Please join me next week as we conclude our Falador venture.